Pacha with a weekly Pele report for Wednesday, February 19th of 2025. Hope you are well out there. It's been a long time since I've been here. I went down to the river, to follow the monkeys, but the cicadas were deafening. Deafening. Could not do it. Had to head up here. Get out from under the trees. Yeah, baby. What is happening? Maybe you want to get out from under what? The moon in Scorpio. Yeah, she's in there yesterday and today and moving into Sagittarius tomorrow. And we'll have the third quarter square sun at 2 degrees, Sagittarius, 20 minutes. I will read to you the Sabian symbol for the third degree of Sagittarius. It is very, very powerful and has a lot to do with this week's mantra, which reflects this week's energies. Anyway, besides that, what's going on is, we had the Sun and Mercury, they're both popping around through Pisces now. And yeah, Mercury is really moving on that left brain, linear, logical, rational thinking that I talked about last week and we'll be talking about more today. A ruler of the South Node in Virgo, right? And moving through Pisces does a few aspects this week, okay? Basically, Friday, tomorrow, square Jupiter. Mercury will be squaring Jupiter tomorrow. And then by Sunday, trining Mars, okay? And then by next Tuesday, conjunct Saturn. Multiple Mercury moving through Pisces axes. And, even with that kind of energy, the moon is going to be coming around through Capricorn into Aquarius and making, numerous aspects, but, really squaring Venus and opposing Mars by Sunday, and squaring Chiron, trining Uranus before she goes into Aquarius next Monday, until finally Tuesday she is going to conjunct with Pluto. I think what I'm going to do is go up here. I have called this Meditation Rock. I've done Pele reports up here before, but I think it's been years. That is a nice, beautiful, flat rock overlooking everything. Yeah. Just like that moon moving through Capricorn and Aquarius, getting more objective, looking at the big picture, looking at the cows grazing on the mountainside, and the distant mountains far away. Oh yeah, baby. Pura vida. Life is beautiful. Let me look at the camera and talk astrology. All right, well, how's it going? I am not in the shade. This is like full on sun, and yes, it is morning, but I don't know how long this report is going to last before I am cooking and dripping. So let's just jump right in. I've told you before, I am going to be talking about Pisces for months to come. Okay, with this Saturn North Node Neptune conjunction, Saturn is getting closer and closer and closer. It's really not coming around until June. Okay. But still, I think we can all feel, and now, with the Sun and Mercury going in there, we've got Sun, Mercury, North Node, Saturn, Neptune, 5 biggies in the last, final, closing sign of Pisces. let's look at this for a second. First of all, you know, it just came to my attention that, you know, this last Saturn-Neptune conjunction that I said happens every 33 years. When was 33 years ago? 1989, the fall of the Berlin Wall. And, you know, the demise of the Soviet Union, the breaking up of that Soviet Union, the USSR, right? It is a global repositioning, a global change happening. We just had the Munich Security Council meeting over there in Europe, right? You know, Trump is coming in, reorganizing with tariffs and, you know, this and that and the other thing. I mean, on the world stage, we can see that this is a great ending. This is a great completion. This is a great, you know, and moving into kind of this state of somewhat chaos. And, you know, Pisces rules chaos. Pisces rules endings. And so, you know, we're in this time period now. I mean, the big thing is what? Well, you know, Mars, did I say Mars? You know, next Tuesday stations, okay, at the 18th degree of Cancer and goes direct. Mars has been in Cancer. I mean, it went in there in September, jumped into Leo, you know, up to 6-7 degrees there for a couple of months, okay, November. But in December, it came back into Cancer. And it's been in Cancer, okay, December, January, and now February. Okay, and March, it doesn't go back into Leo until April. We have this, you know, very big, huge time. And first Mars retrograde is like the scalpel, the knife, the surgeon going deep down into the feelings. Into our past, into our inner child, into our childhood, into the womb of the mother, into our relationship with our mother, and maybe even, you know, back into rebirthing or prior lifetimes. But it is going deep down in, and it's really something. I'm feeling these feelings, and I'm really exploring the water signs of Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, and how they all have to do with endings. Endings. Cancer is kind of like the end of innocence, okay, and Scorpio is, you know, the end of, you know, I, me, myself, you know, into transpersonal, and Pisces is even just like the end of all. The end of it all. Like it's all over, unknown soldier. That could be the song for this week. Oh, I have to think of another song. I forgot about the song. What was that? The Doors, It's All Over, ba-bum, bum, bum. Unknown soldier, ba-bum, bum, bum. It's an old one. But it is also not only endings, but many of these endings have to deal with forces beyond our control. In Cancer, we have feelings. And you know, we hear a message, or we get an email, or we smell something cooking, or we see a movie, or we hear a song, and it triggers emotions. It's almost like we cannot control our own emotions. We can't control it. Well, not so much emotions, maybe, you know, but feelings. Just feelings, they just come up. They come out of the blue. They come out of nowhere. And it's like, you know, you can be a happy sailor until, you know, like, boom, you know, whoop, you know, you're capsized. I actually did that once. I sunk my sailboat. But anyway, you know, like a gust of wind came along and just whoop, and I was in the water, man. San Francisco Bay, very cold. Yeah. So you're sailing along, la da 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 da, and here comes, you know, just something that, you know, upsets you. Scorpio, other people. And not just other people, but governments, banks, okay, you know, other people's values, other people's money, okay, inheritance. You can't control your partner, Okay, sexual turn on, turn off, intimacy, cold shoulder. We cannot control, okay, our most intimate partners. And so that can flip on in a flash. And then we come around to Pisces. Whoa. Pisces it's like the hand of God just comes into our lives like destiny, right? And we feel like a tidal wave. Like there is just this, give me a life raft, a life jacket, a life preserver. I mean, all I can do is hope to ride this out and make it to some unknown distant shore, right? We can all be feeling this way because this is the collective unconscious. Neptune and Pisces rules this collective unconscious. This is like a subterranean, oh yeah, there's that other one. What is it? Subterranean blues or something, just like this undercurrent of anxiety, undercurrent of uncertainty, undercurrent of like, what is going on? We know that kind of like the rug is getting pulled out from under us. The governmental structures, okay, our relationships, maybe it's our health, okay, with the, the toxicity of all of our food and the land, and just like so much is unpredictable right now, and it's not stopping. This is the thing. It's like, okay, it's nice to just like, boom, get a divorce and walk away, or get it, quit this job and get another one, or some changes we can make pretty rapidly and pretty quickly. But I think one of this hand of God that I'm talking about, or goddess, okay, she comes along and says, oh, there is great reflection, great processing, great growing, great understanding that needs to happen before you get the ring, the brass ring. In the old days they had the merry-go-round, and you would go up and down on the horse, and part of the challenge was to reach out and grab for the brass ring, right? And if you did your timing right and you were balanced right, you could get the brass ring, yeah. But you could also miss it over and over and over again and have to go around again, maybe another lifetime, of going around to get that brass ring, okay? So we are in this, we're in this place right now, and what I want to really point to, key word for this week and this time period, acceptance. Acceptance. What does it take for us to come into acceptance? Acceptance of the end. And acceptance of ourselves and others and life or destiny, without blame, without finger pointing, okay, without saying this was wrong or this is bad. Pisces just is. Life just is. It's up to us to accept this life. If we don't, if we resist accepting our humanness with all of our faults or frailties or errors or dharma or karma, if we fail to accept, okay, our family members, our community members, our lovers, if we fail to accept our governments or our religions or our institutions, our children, it's pointless. Not only pointless, but it's unhealthy. And it will lead to our demise. In the end, life wins. Yeah, love, life, source, okay, you know, Gaia, nature, it wins. We have to surrender. We cannot control, we can't even control our own feelings, much less, you know, the ones that we love, much less freaking life. So come on. You can get all anxious and you can get all worried and you can try to fight for control and you can try to dominate, you can try to force or push or, you know, run. You can try to run, you can run, but you can never hide. Life will find you wherever you are. Ow! So I think part of this acceptance has to do, okay, also just with change. Change is the only constant. And everything comes and everything goes. It's our soul spirit being that incarnates repeatedly. Even this body is going to go, but our consciousness, our soul, continues on. And as we attach and become more, less attached to the temporary things in life, and attached to the eternal, the spiritual, the divine, the unconscious soul qualities. Okay, then, right? Then that's like, that's like, I think of the kite sail, the kite surfers. I love those things, right? You're holding on to the kite, right? And that kite is pulling you over the waves. So like the eternal, right? The eternal change, the eternal wind, prana, spirit, is what really pulls us through into the state of acceptance. And not only acceptance, but evolutionary growth in consciousness. Liberation. This is Pluto in Aquarius for the next 20 years. And so, it's not only this 33-year cycle, okay, of Saturn-Neptune. And then I said Saturn-Neptune North Node hasn't happened for, thousands and thousands and thousands of years, especially at 0 degrees of Aries. I mean, this is all happening at the 29th, the last degree of a 360-degree cycle. Talk about a culmination. Boing. And we incarnated for this moment, for this time, for this period. Yes, it is going to lighten up. I'm going to say, a year and a half from now, okay, July, August, September of 2026, things are going to lighten up. But we are really in this time period now. And I want to relate it to what? The end of the game. It's the end of the game. And we've been playing a game. I remember when I was a kid, we used to play football every day after school, and we're playing the game and we're having a blast and we're bumping each other and passing and tackling and falling and touchdowns and da-da-da-da until ring, ding, 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 5 o'clock. Time to stop. Wherever you are, whatever the score is. Whoever won or lost or this or that, it's time for dinner. Time to go home to mama. Time to let go of the game. The game. And then there's that walk home. You're thinking about, oh man, I missed that pass, or oh man, I got that touchdown, or oh man, there's all this reflection, right? And it's like, okay, I'm going to do better next time. Reflection brings, awareness and understanding. And it can get into, like, when we're attached, and Scorpio is attachment, fixed water. Okay, Scorpio is attachment, Pluto is attachment, Moon in Scorpio, like right now, is, I am emotionally attached to you. Ready or not, like it or not. And that movement, okay, that attachment, okay, can, to the game. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going home for dinner. Come on, everybody, let's keep playing. Defy the greater rhythm. okay, or or whatever, it just leads it leads to conflict, and and this leads to hurt and trauma and pain and painful memories that then need to be healed and need to be processed and need to be gone through. Whereas when we move into, and this is Pluto in Aquarius for the next 20 years, non-attachment, objectivity, looking at the big picture, this brings me to what? Our Sabian symbol, baby. Ow. This is so freaking awesome. Where is it? Uh-oh. This is just like so appropriate. I can't believe it. Two men playing chess. I love chess. I don't know if you like chess or not, but wow, right? The keynote is the transcendent ritualization of conflict. Essential to socio-cultural living. That's community, that's society, that's not cave people, right? Is the transmutation of our natural aggressiveness under most conditions of existence. Many rituals, sports, and games have no other basic aim. In chess, the complex types of energies, which in their togetherness constitute a human person, are symbolized by 6 kinds of pieces: the king, the queen, the bishop, the knights, rooks, and pawns. I like horses better than knights. The struggle between light and darkness, the black and the white, the yang and the yin forces, is ritualized, ending in most cases with the checkmating of the king. The ego, the conscious self. I talked about it last week, right? In a dualistic world, such a contest between polarized forces is omnipresent. The chess game trains us to be more objective, more careful, more aware of whole situations. And I'm going to add other people's feelings. And less impulsive and intent upon side issues. This symbol deals with conflict, but at the level of group culture and psychological symbolization. It brings to the objective consciousness the basic realities in interpersonal interplay. Capital letters, interplay. Like interdimensional play. Checkmate. Boonk. Knock that king over. Donk. Game over. Ah! Well, I used to watch the wide world of sports, right? The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. I get my way and I win, or I don't get my way and I lose, and one way or the other, there comes a time when it's over, done, complete, and finished. In preparation for a much bigger, greater, wider, broader experience that leads us into, right, evolutionary states of expanded consciousness. This is the 3rd quarter moon in Sagittarius, coming around to Yeah, these are the transpersonal consciousness signs. Sag, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. So I want to read to you now and just share with you, this week's mantra, because there's a lot to it, and I think I need to talk about it a little bit. Yeah? It is that while preparing for final examinations, without knowing what lies beyond, I'm amazed at all I have grown through and need to process so as to move on. I don't know if you've gone to university and gotten your diploma, but you had those final examinations. Could have been grade school, could have been high school. Grade school, you kind of know what, high school, there's kind of an idea of what lies beyond that. After high school, if you're not going to college, okay, you don't know what lies beyond that. I got out of high school, got a pickup truck and headed off, and hit the road. And I had no idea where I was going or what was going to happen, right? There's these, places. It's the leaving home. And maybe then you go to college or even you go to get your PhD, but like at some point, right, you hit this place where I'm moving on. This can be a marriage. This can be a long-term relationship. This can be as a parent saying goodbye to your children after, 20-some years or whatever of being a parent. It's an old identity. This can be changing countries, moving cities, changing a job that you've been doing for 28 years or something. But, this is a period where, like I said, it's not just a 33-year cycle. We're closing the age of Pisces. 2,000 years. We're closing the patriarchy. 6,500 years. We're closing the 5th post-Atlantean epoch of the Greco-Roman Empire, okay? That's thousands and thousands of years. We've already closed Kali Yuga, and we're just kind of inching into the Dwapara Yuga. So there is this, it's like erase the chalkboard big time. And what the mantra also says, and what Pisces also says, and now this is what's, really relating to this week. Mercury coming up to Saturn. Serious, sober reflection. And whereas it is squaring Jupiter, okay, which is in Gemini and just wants to do business and skate along the surface and mutate and change and adapt and, just like move on. Okay, that the square is, no, that's not going to happen so easily. And maybe your contract's not going to go through. Okay, it's like halt, check, checkmate. Maybe not checkmate, maybe it's just a check. But you still got your chance to, okay, no, wait a minute, it's not over yet. I can move my king over here, or I can block you, with my horse, or, whatever's going on. The game is, it's not over yet. Like I said, we don't have that final Saturn-Neptune conjunction until they both get into Aries next February. And I even wanted to say, so yeah, Mars goes direct, hey, it is time to move forward, but this forward happens very slowly. Mars is still coming out of Cancer, still dealing with our immature, infantile, emotional needs, fears, and desires. Look at that, right? That's a big baby. We're all big babies. We've all got a big baby in there. And Mars is like tantrums. And, I feel it. It's not easy. It's not nice. I'm gonna, fight for my feelings or, get all aggressive or whatever. Hello. Mercury and Saturn, trining, that Mars is, okay, let's The trine is, flow with this energy, integrate this energy. And then through that, the Mercury conjunct Saturn is then we make, as an elder, as the mature, integrated person of integrity, thinking of the whole kingdom and the future generations, the king and the queen sit and make their decrees. Guess what? Then we've got everything, all the planets are direct for how long? 1 week. March 1st, Venus turns around and goes retrograde. March 15th or something, Mercury turns around and goes retrograde. It spends more time in Pisces, okay? All through March and April, we're dealing with more and more of this Pisces energy until I think Mercury goes direct first, April 2nd. Venus goes direct April 12th. Then, things will really start to move forward. But we're sitting like, the frog in boiling water or whatever, We're sitting here stewing in our juices, and it's time to process. It's time to feel all the feelings, have all the difficult conversations that bring up all the memories and all this attachments, and all of the needs, and how am I going to get this need met, and how can I possibly let go of that person or that job or that security factor? How can I? And I don't see I don't see the future. All I see is things going. I don't see new things coming. It hasn't come yet. So this is the void. This is the emptiness. This is the greatest fear, that there is no future, that it's not going to work out. I've got nowhere to go. I'm going to let go of everything and be left with nothing. And yet, that is also part of the growth experience. To see all that we have grown through. This is the point of life. This is our evolution. This is, so this reflection is like really vital, so that we do make the right choices, we do make the right decisions, we do sign the right contracts, okay, April, May, June. Okay, my camera's blowing over. Must be time to stop. It's all over, unknown soldier. I'll have to go listen to the rest of the lyrics. But while preparing for final examinations, without knowing what lies beyond, I'm amazed, I'm awed at all I have grown through and need to process so as to move on. Just that one last note is to just like see how much we've grown, see all that we've been through, see how different we are from who we were 33 years ago, right? And 28 years ago, and even 1 year ago. And pat ourselves on the back. Give yourself a pat on the back. It's like, yeah, we've made it. Whether we won or lost, we're alive, we're kicking, and there is a future. And there will be a dawn of a new day following the setting sun of this one. Namaste. Aloha. So much love. Ow! Yeah!